Hi investors, this is Professor Steve again. Welcome to the video number 2, or second in a series of 4, subtitled Retirement Planning for Dummies. This is a set of series of videos covering the basics of personal retirement. Again, the target of these videos are to empower investors so that they can do all the mathematics themselves in their retirement planning. Be advised that what's contained in these videos are just not all what you need, but a goal to get you on the right path and to get you kind of interested in the mathematics beside that. Our first video showed steps to quantify your current financial status. In other words, what do you owe, what do you own, and what are your cash and investments to date. Once this information is collected, it's somewhat valuable to you, so keep it handy and regularly monitor and update it from year to year, month to month, even possibly quarter to quarter. Again, we are looking at today, where do you want to be in retirement? That's our video number 2. The next 2 in the series are going to be what gaps might exist and how do we fill those gaps. Again, where do you want to be is a kind of a loaded type of question here, and what we want to do is kind of look at this from the standpoint of your personal situation here. But before we kind of go into that, I promised a little bit more about my background and why we're doing this. I have over 13 years as a college professor, both graduate and undergraduate finance courses, 25 years before that of investment banking experience. I have been involved with institutional bond sales and trading and derivatives since the mid-1980s, and I've also been a creator of a mutual fund family and involved with mergers and acquisitions as well as the venture capital arena. I see too many smart individuals, many of them even my students, who think they need others to tell them what to do. They need others to tell them what the math is involved. And what I want to do is set up this particular program to show that anybody, not a college student, you don't have to be an MBA student to be able to do this. But I think it should be one of those kind of deals that you should be able to do yourself, and understand that one of the interesting questions is, it is in the best interest of financial planners to make this as more complex as possible. Why? Because you then have to rely on them. You must feel like you use them all the time, and what I'm suggesting to you is that's not the case. How many people did your advisor kick out of the marketplace before the crash? My bet is they can't answer these types of questions. So that's kind of my attitude in the end at approaching these things. And later on at the end of the series, I'm going to give you a suggested path of which that you could then take after this video and maybe the other videos to get it farther down the way. I'm also going to ask that you provide feedback. I'm going to give you an email address with that in mind, that you can always kind of provide this. So the question is, where do you want to be? So let me kind of switch over to my Excel format here. And again, the idea of where is kind of a complex scenario, meaning both physically as well as, let's say, financially. So an Iowa couple in my example here desires to retire in Florida. They need to do some preliminary research that includes city and cost of living, what it might be the state income tax, quality of life issues, that type of scenario. Eventually what we want to do is get into either quantifying either a detailed or a non-detailed approach. And what I mean by that, it could be as simple as throwing out some numbers and saying our monthly housing expense is going to be $450. Now let me suggest what this is. Their mortgage could be paid off in Iowa. They go down and fully pay for a house there. This might be just taxes that they need, and maybe insurance. Transportation costs might be one new car for a couple. You see medical, entertainment, travel. Now I'm throwing these numbers out there, and what I suggest you do is you come in and put your own numbers in here. Instead of like 250, we put 350, and you'll notice that as we change, as we're doing in this particular financial model, which we'd like to go into in extensive courses here, as we change the numbers, you see that the totals down here automatically update. So these again are some of the tools you want to target. If you'd like to go into a more detailed approach, we can actually put numbers out here for each one of these line items. If you want to put what you think yard maintenance is, or what a house maintenance might be, or what rental fees might be, you can actually detail these or put them in summary. Again, the idea is to put the tool in your hand to be as detailed as you want, but also not allow anybody to give you the number. You come up with a number as far as that's concerned. And my point is, do you want to buy a $300 a month car payment, or do you want to have a $700 car a month allotment, if you will? The last thing I want to kind of provide here, what happens if you have a quick and dirty approach? And I keep saying what this might be something for a youngster that doesn't really care, but they want to say, I want X per month as my revenue in retirement. Is that $2,000? Is that $4,000? Is that $6,000? Or is that $10,000? Again, any number of ways that you can say, where do you want to be in the future? And that's what this is trying to target. So by identifying in our first video where you are today, where do you want to be, we can start filling in some of the ideas. Again, we're going to address those in videos 3 and 4. But again, you is you. You are not me. I'm not your accountant. Don't let your accountant or your children tell you how much you need to have per month. That's something that you need to decide. Again, where has the meeting? Do you want to be away from the ice and snow? Do you want to be near or far away from your children or grandchildren? And then what type of financial state do you want to be? Debt-free, mortgage-free, and the like. Those are the kind of things you need to identify here. It's fairly quick. But again, the idea is, how do you turn this into quantified numbers, if you will? The idea also is that these math tools that we're going to be providing you allow you to do this sensitivity analysis. You saw earlier that I could change the numbers and update everything. That's exactly what we want to look at here. The when is also a variable, so we need to kind of address that, and we'll look at that in later videos. And the last thing is, where do you want to be from the standpoint of quantifying things? And what I mean by that is, can you actually put numbers on a 2-bedroom, 3-bath, or 3-bedroom, 2-bath home? Is it going to be mortgage free or not? Those are the kind of things that if you put numbers on now, then you could change them later. But again, we're trying to give you this flexibility. After the video, evaluate those things that are important to you: family, friends, weather, where do you want to be. Review the next 2 videos to try and get some additional math tools. Conduct research into those kind of areas that you might think you want to be. If you're very young, then you might just want to look at a dollar amount target, but if you're kind of getting older, you might want to start saying some more details there. And then we're starting to look at some budgets, if you will, where you can be extremely conservative or put all the bells and whistles in it and do a what if you will, or so see the alternatives, if you will, that can kind of come up. And again, these are all the tools we want to place in your hands. Video 3 or part 3 will address what you have and what you want to identify the gaps, if there are any, meaning can you get there from here, or we're trying to quantify them. And again, the whole purpose for these videos is trying to gauge the interest in developing a full website that gives you more details, a little bit more than what we can do in a few minutes here on each one of these small videos. We're also asking you to provide feedback. If you can, send me an email, Professor Steve at diy.retire@gmail.com. That's diy.retire@gmail.com. Let me know what you think, and let me know what we can provide a service for you, either now or in the future. Again, next video is where are the gaps in your plans. Thanks.